31 people and organizations have clinched Singapore's top accolade for volunteerism. That's the highest number of recipients ever. They were picked from a record 236 nominations for this year's President's Volunteerism and Philanthropy Awards. They received their awards from President Halimah Yacob, who says that the overwhelming response is a testament to the efforts put in by Singaporeans amid the pandemic. They've made contributions such as providing underprivileged families with food and face masks.
The COVID-19 pandemic has also brought out the best in many Singaporeans. Over the past few months, I have seen many Singaporeans from all walks of life coming together to help others. It inspires me greatly to know that in the most difficult of times, humanity still prevails.
This charity delivers halal meals and groceries to the needy, such as migrant workers and seniors. Aptly called Free Food for All, its mission became even more pressing during the pandemic, which has hit jobs and incomes. Home deliveries even hit 1,000 in a month at its peak, up from the usual 150 or so before COVID-19. To provide enough food, its founder, 50-year-old Nizar Sharif, dug into his own savings.
When COVID came in the early stages, I kind of felt that there will be more people that will be needing the food. And at that point of time, our resources also was very limited. So personally, I sold off some of my insurance policies and just to stand by. And I was thankful that those savings came in handy.
Another growing need sparked a community project to sew and distribute reusable cloth masks. It has rallied over 6,000 volunteers in total, who have stitched up 300,000 homemade masks since April, with more than half given out.
We are shocked when we hit 1,000 members within a month. Yeah, so we was like, everyone want to contribute, and there's a lot of volunteers actually sponsor fabric and send in all the fabric, even they cannot sew.
Such acts of generosity have been common during the pandemic.
What COVID created for us was just this opportunity to see so many more needs, I think, that were unseen, that were just below the surface. And I think what COVID showed was that when Singaporeans see there is a need, they respond.
NVPC says more are hoping to serve the community, with over 22,000 volunteers signing up on its Giving.sg portal so far this year, about 6% more than last year.
And we're on the line with two other winners, Anil David and Sherry Soon. Congrats on the wins for you both as well. Anil, perhaps let's start with you. You provided employment opportunities for inmates and people who were physically challenged, as well as providing meals and support for migrant workers during the peak of COVID-19. Give us a sense of the inspiration behind helping these groups specifically.
Sure. Myself, I experienced the grace of forgiveness from my family, and that motivated me to do what is right as a way to honor them, especially. We can rise by lifting others, especially those who need help to get back on their feet. This is the same reason why I had founded Agape Connecting People, to help those who will really need help at this point of time. And it was a joy just to see this group of people coming along, that we could be standing with them, providing, because the one thing that was really very painful was jobs, and thankfully we could provide that for them during this most difficult period.
It's such important work that you've been doing, Anil. Sherry, you've also reached out to underprivileged communities, to frontline workers at the height of this pandemic. So tell us about that experience. What have you learned from it?
So I think the experience has been really exceptionally moving and encouraging. Because in early February, I think we saw the need to really bring people together. And what we did was we actually got over 45 schools, non-profit organizations to make thank you cards for our, frontline healthcare workers, and corporate donors, sponsoring essential items and tote bags. And, within 3 weeks, we actually managed to pack all the 7,000. Yeah, that's the picture right there. Yeah, and I think what I learned was that, we just really wanted to kind of put in our heartfelt efforts. And we didn't really expect the thank you messages to come in because we knew that the healthcare workers were so busy. But when I went through like my Facebook photos, I actually found one thank you message under one particular photo. And it was all these preschoolers like coloring on the thank you card. And I realized this healthcare worker, she actually went through all our photos to find that particular photo with the card, with her thank you card on it. And I think that was because she was really touched by that gesture. So what I learned was that there are actually many people who are willing to extend their kindness. And, in times of crisis, it is even more important for us to reach out with this act of kindness to others.
Yeah, and on that note, Sherry, your organization, Be Kind SG, really aims at getting more people to volunteer and raise awareness of the less visible communities. Since the time you started volunteering, how do you think the scene has developed? I mean, are you seeing more people wanting to get involved in this journey?
I think, this journey has really been about like planting seeds of kindness. So, we just hope that what we do will really help inspire others to make changes as well. So I'll share one example. Maybe about 2-3 weeks ago, there was actually a lady who emailed us and said she wanted to do some micro volunteering activities during her wedding. And, it was because she actually read about my wedding like 3 years ago when we did some activities like that. And, she said that, she wanted to do something even though it was COVID and there were so many restrictions. So she actually drew some coloring sheets for us. Her guests drew, and, all these will be given to the residents of the welfare homes that we visit before COVID, and now we are sending coloring sheets to them so that they can color.
I know this pandemic has impacted all of us in one way or another, but it's the vulnerable in society that it has possibly impacted the most. What change do you hope to see through your efforts for those more vulnerable groups in the community?
Honestly, it takes a village to raise a child. We just hope, and I just pray that we'll get many companies and many people just coming forward to partner us to build this and as an inclusive society. I founded Agape Connected People to empower the vulnerable communities with skills, upgrading them and getting them jobs with a career plan that they can enjoy. This is the most sustainable way to get them back to their feet. We have successfully to date impacted about 600 lives to date, and we are targeting to impact another 1,000 lives by 2022. When lives are transformed, families get reconciled. That is priceless to me. When we saw the students that they were just disconnected back from their home, they didn't even have money to get data plans. I could resonate with them because there was a space and time that I was just in that similar space. And this COVID actually brought the best out of a lot of people too. I've seen people coming forward from nowhere, just coming to help wherever they can. I saw the beautiful side of a lot of people. And it's something that just makes me so encouraged to do more.
Anil, Sherry, thank you so much for sharing your very inspiring journeys. We've been speaking there with Anil David and Sherry Soon, and they're winners of the President's Voluntary and Philanthropy Awards.